All right, man, we back. Goodfellas Sports TV. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And we're going to talk a little bit about the NBA. Sabonis from the Pacers is out for the rest of the NBA bubble. We're going to talk about that. Austin Rivers and Lou Williams leave the bubble. And also we're going to talk about it's being reported by Yahoo that a group of NBA players are expected to kneel and protest the national anthem. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate the love, support. Check out our NBA Talk playlist. Now, Austin Rivers left the bubble for family issues, and so did Lewis Williams. Now, Lewis Williams' bubble issue is a little bit funnier here. All right, Lewis Williams was seen partying, after leaving the bubble. Now, he had a death in the family, and somebody caught him in the club, and they tagged him on Instagram. So, somebody that's supposed to be leaving the bubble and tending to a funeral, he's in the nightclub with at least he had a mask on. So we had Patrick Beverly lead the bubble, Montrezl Harrell lead the bubble. All three of them left with personal issues, and Doc Rivers says that personal issues happen all the time in the NBA. But the difference is they saying that you have to take 6 deep nasal corona tests to get back in the NBA bubble. Now, I'm hearing that they now are taking the throat in some situations. They putting a tube down your throat and swabbing your throat so they don't have to do the nasal anymore. And the testing has just been so erratic and so inconsistent. And I just come to the conclusion, if you don't have any symptoms, I don't believe in the asymptomatic crap no more. I don't think you got it. The testing is just not accurate at all. And it's just kind of been off. So, but back with him being the third Clipper leaving, you haven't seen Patrick Beverly, whatever his family matter is, in the club, or Montrezl Harrell. He left the bubble crying over a family issue. We know COVID is killing people, so hopefully neither one of them lost any family members. But Lewis Williams did. But is it wrong for him to be in the club partying that he made it outside the bubble? I mean, he was a dude that didn't want to go in the bubble to begin with. If you remember, Lewis Williams was that same guy saying that they should be out there fighting social issues that's going on in the black community. All right. That's what Lewis Williams said. So now we in a situation where, is he a hypocrite, or is he just enjoying himself? And it didn't look like it was a bypass or repass, excuse me. Some repasses do be turned up. I done seen a few of them where they got open bar and people drink and drown their own tears and sorrow and all that type of other stuff. So, quite frankly, it's Lewis Williams, free time to do what he want to do with it. I mean, also you got Austin Rivers, who also left the bubble as well too. I think he was playing pretty solid, in Houston this year as well too. And, I thought he was kind of having a revival. He was the #1 high school player in the country, I think. And he was a super athlete. We thought, he was going to basically be the, one of the dudes that might be the face of the league, and he's failed to live up to those expectations. So, I mean, in Houston, that system will cure anybody's career. I mean, at one point, Tim Thomas in that Mike D'Antoni system, he was lighting it up for the Phoenix Suns in the playoff run. So that system, get up and down, it's basically like the run and shoot or the run and gun offense in the NFL. If you can't produce in that system and you running and you can't get stats in that system, then you probably don't belong in this league, man. So, hopefully whatever Austin Rivers is dealing with, he able to deal with it and get back into the bubble. And he passed his COVID test. And for Lou Williams' sake, he better pass his COVID test, because, I mean, if he don't, that picture of him partying in the club is just going to come back to bite him in his butt. So, the Clippers are down bad, man. 3 of their top players, 2 of their top bench players, Lou and Montrezl Harrell, is gone. And then you got a situation where they starting point guard is gone. So, I mean, hopefully they back by the time, the regular season games start. If not, I mean, it's just going to make it the asterisk more bigger and juicy next to the champion's name this year, man. And, at least, and then at one point, Kawhi wasn't at the bubble. Most people believe he had the the coronavirus. So, it's kind of getting real, real thick out here, man. A lot of dudes coming up with these phantom issues. So is it that, or some of these dudes are coming up maybe with some phantom issues? Is it that, maybe they just need to get out the bubble and need to stretch their arms a little bit? Maybe the NBA and accommodating them enough in the bubble and they want to get back to regular life. And don't forget, it is summertime. It ain't like it's winter, and they just in the snow globe, just sitting there. No, people want to get out there and enjoy their summers, but also they didn't want to lose $600 million. That's what they would have recouped from the players. So the league, That's why the league done the bubble. But Sabonis from the Pacers, Demonis Sabonis, I'll be butchering his name. He basically had a foot injury that's going to kick him out the bubble. And that's one of the things that I feared. A lot of these dudes lack conditioning, and, you're going to get those injuries. So he's not going to be the first or the last person probably with an injury that's going to force him out the bubble. Not saying he didn't take care of himself, during the, brief, time they had off. But a lot of people just didn't have the facilities and didn't have the amenities to work out and play basketball. We talked about a few weeks ago where Chris Middleton and Pascal Siakam said they hadn't touched the basketball in 3 months since the NBA canceled the season. So a lot of people saying lack of discipline, but if you're in another country that's on complete lockdown, there's nothing that you legitimately can do but sit ups and push ups in your room, and so it is what it is, man. As far as they case, but for Sabonis, he had a breakout year. He was an all-star. A lot of people were surprised to see he was an all-star, but then again, a lot of people are not hardcore basketball fans. They just watch the Clippers, the Lakers, the Celtics, teams of that nature. And I watched the Pacers because the Pistons played them like 4 times in the first couple months of the season. And Sabonis is a certified good ball player, rebounder, shooter. He can do it all. He's the modern day big man with a splash of old school big man. And his dad was one of the greatest, players in history, international players in history. He just came over to the NBA old. But, he was doing things that some of these big men are doing now. He was doing that back in his, USS, whatever, Russia day. So hopefully Sabonis is able to bounce back quick. And it's kind of throws a monkey wrench depending on how bad his foot injury is. Because if his foot injury is truly bad, then they were trying to trade Miles Turner possibly to the Golden State Warriors or somewhere else to have cap relief to probably try to keep Victor Oladipo. But if, Sabonis is dealing with a serious foot injury, then that mean they might have to keep, they might have to keep Miles Turner, and then they going to have to probably move Victor Oladipo, and his, desired place. It sounds like it's going to be Miami, but hey, that's something to kind of look out for. But hopefully Sabonis get well. Hopefully Lewis Williams don't test positive when he's trying to come back into the bubble. And hopefully Austin Rivers, his family situation, all their family situations, him, Montrez, and anybody else that left the bubble is A-OK. All right. But yeah, it's a small group of players, or a group of players. I won't say small. Yahoo reported is planning to protest and kneel during the national anthem. I ain't with it no more. When it wasn't fashionable, wasn't nobody kneel with Cap. NBA, MLS, not too many people would. There's a few dudes, Brandon Marshall, Kenny Stills, Eric Reed, but it wasn't nobody in the league protesting and kneeling. Remember, they had that huge discussion with the meeting with the league, the NBA Players Union and the NBA. They sat down and they talked about not kneeling because it was bad for the products. And at one point, they started putting sponsorships on the jerseys, and they wanted to lose the bag. Same thing when LeBron, kind of G-check Daryl Morey for his comments about what's going on in China. He basically, tried to, trying to back the Chinese government over what Daryl Morey said, which Daryl Morey shouldn't have said nothing. They lost $500 million because of his comments, and they was going to fire him until I think like Trump said something or whatever, and they didn't fire him. But at the same time, I don't care if you kneel no more. It's easy to stand up when everybody's standing up. How about standing up when everybody's sitting down? You know what I'm saying? And it's become a fad now. It's become trendy. I don't even think people kneeling, for nothing no more but for attention. I don't think Kaepernick was just kneeling for attention. I think he really had, he did his research, what people don't know. He gathered information from an army veteran or a military veteran. He told him that kneeling ain't a sign of disrespect. And he used it and he brought awareness to the situation. But I don't want to see these players kneeling. If you was going to kneel, you should have kneeled in the beginning and kneel with Kaepernick, and this thing would be done. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I wonder what the NBA is going to say. But you know what? They all on this, black Afrocentric, black power trip for a minute. So everybody, even the Redskins changing their name, and everybody is trendy to be pro-black right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's trendy to kneel right now. A lot of people say, well, I'm not going to watch. You have those white people that's saying, or those other people. You might even have some raccoons that's saying that they not going to watch. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. You know what I'm saying? I truly do get it. You don't want to mix politics in a place of employment. That's what people got to understand. Don't mix the politics in the place of employment, And that's rarely followed. A lot of people lose their job and lose friendships and co-workerships with people that break that rule. But at the same time, they can kneel if they want to. I don't give a hell. It's not going to make me look at you as motherfucking Nelson Mandela or Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or somebody of importance. You know, all I'm going to say is, where was this shit at when Kaepernick needed you the most? Where was this at? Nowhere to be found. Craig Hodges back in the day was bringing up stuff, and you know, my man's he played at LSU. I don't want to mispronounce his name. He was in the Big Three, you know, my month, whatever his name is. I don't want to butcher it, but he was doing it. Where was everybody else at when he was doing it? So I don't really think people care what's going on in the world. What people care about is their well-being, their family well-being, in their pockets. And Black Lives Matter is fruitful, it's plentiful right now, it's trendy. Now, if it was still frowned upon and kneeling was still frowned upon, how many NBA players would be talking about kneeling? None of them. How many NFL players would be talking about kneeling? None of them. And, you know, me personally, that's just the God honest truth. So, I mean, it is what it is. You can believe what you want to believe. It don't make me no difference. I don't feel nothing, like the man of steel, nerves of steel. I don't feel nothing when they kneel. I'm just saying, why they didn't do this years ago when Kaepernick needed a hand. All of a sudden, when Trump told the NFL they were some SOBs, they kneeled for Trump, but they wouldn't kneel for a fellow NFL brother. And now the NBA want to put all this Black Lives Matter and social justice on the back of their uniforms. Like I said before, this Black Lives Matter thing has become a sham. It's become a joke, in my opinion. And like I said before, where's the little kids in the hood that need the money that Black Lives Matter is pulling in? I ain't seen it. All right. And I ain't seen the NBA come to a school in the hood yet and help a school out. But hey, that's my opinion on it. Let me know what you guys think. Check out our NBA Talk playlist. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you got a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video question.